Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.
Let's reconvene. And let's reconvene. I just want to make sure we are all in one wavelength. I believe the biggest value who helped Wael Badawi from 1992 is I used to have a closed group where I go and speak out my mind, speak out what I want to do. And early on in my career, I hated when they didn't agree with me. I hated. I had my own ego. Oh man, these guys don't understand, and it frustrated me. Later on in my life, I realized that there is nothing better than having a group who can exchange with you honestly and openly the non-confidential part of what they do, which I'm trying to be the same. So I strong believer of this table. I strong believer of having the safe environment. And even if people on the table are competing against each other in their business, the number of clients and customers out there, guys, they need more than us. So I'm very proud of people around this table, and I'm very proud. So this is something which I wanna always emphasize, like, don't listen to people who don't have experience, because the cost of following a wrong advice can make you broke for the rest of your life. Qualify who you talk to. It doesn't matter you listen to everybody. You don't apply what you got from non-expert. And how you define expertise? By you making due diligence to verify that these people know and they have practiced before. Because the knowledge exists on Google. You can go to my cousin and your cousin Google, you find all the knowledge there. The application of the knowledge is what we are looking for. It's not the knowledge. Okay.
Well, it's funny you say that, but at the same time, and Jacqueline just said that a couple minutes ago, she goes, we had our website designed, we thought, and it didn't serve us.
Yep.
So the person either sold themselves really good and didn't deliver. And and I have the same thing. I'm trying to go with the SEO and the Infusionsoft, and I'm just getting disappointment after disappointment. Because
in particular, websites and the Infusionsoft come on this table. There are people on this group. They came up to this table at no cost on Sunday when I was working on my own programs. We sat here. I will work on mine. He will work on his, and we will exchange information. And I will help. And it doesn't cost much because it's a working group. I want somebody to take me out of what I do to work on my own things as well. So the challenge we have is we never understand the wheels. We never understand. We want to be a coach or we want to be a trainer. I don't like the word coach, by the way. I call myself mentor. I don't like coaching. It's come a brand new word, which is not, it was not in my time. It was to be advisor and mentor. Away from my own philosophy and my own view, I accept to be called coach by people who want to call me coach. So when you don't understand what you derive and what value you do, you cannot guide people. You can hire people. You can hire people for SEO. You can hire people for websites. You can hire people for everything. But you have to tell them. I was struck by a light when somebody told me, "Oh, we never had a questionnaire on our website." I said, "What do you mean? Like nobody will give you a questionnaire or even interview you in person? Say, what's your business about?" So you have to calibrate what advice you get. If what you get does not make you uncomfort, and you like it, sorry, sir, sorry, ma'am, don't execute on it. Because if you tell me something which I really like, and I'm filthy not working right now, it means what? If you are very successful and making lots of money, and people will tell you keep going, you can hear them. However, when you be at this level, you will not need advices. You will not listen to anybody. Nobody will give you advice. But if somebody will give you advice where you feel good and you love it because this is what really you are doing right now, and you don't make the money you want to make, they don't make the impact you like to make, you have to stop and say, you know what? I will not listen to these people because I am where I am. What will make me change? It changes about being uncomfort. When I change and build this business, I wake up Saturdays very early morning. And I have to challenge myself to face people. I have to challenge myself to face rejections and objections. I have to challenge myself to go to events where people look at me as a threat because of my background and look at me as a competitor and try to bully me in public, and I have to be cool and don't lose my temper. And I have a very high temper, by the way. I'm very, very cool, smiley and taking forward, and I have been insulted and assaulted in public so many times. And when the time move forward, people realize whoever's the knowledgeable guy and whoever's the bluffing guys. So if you have a critical knowledge, if you have a passion to impact, it will come out. But you have to go away from your comfort zone. And I know for many of you to come Monday morning here is not comfortable. For many of you to come Saturday's morning is not comfortable. A change will happen when you start to adopt something or do something which not used to do before. Einstein did not say it, but everybody affiliated to him or accredited him to say it. Einstein never said, doing the same thing, insanity, meaning doing the same thing, expect different results. Einstein did not say it. It's proven. He did not say this statement. However, people will say it, that this is a definition of insanity, and attributed him to Einstein. It's okay. It's a good definition that don't do the same stuff and expect different results. Don't repeat what you do different. Try to look at something will get you out of your comfort, something new. And having a support group to support you to do something which you are not comfortable with is the most important part. I have customers who will hang up in my phone, say, "Oh, no, I understand, I don't want to listen to this more." No, take your time. Few different weeks later, "Oh, thank you for pushing us, after we felt bad and you want to get back on track." It's not a big deal. You have to not fool yourself. If you are comfort where you are and happy where you are, I'm so happy for you. Get advices will keep you where you are, so good. If somebody's trying to push you out of your comfort zone to do something slightly different or dramatically different, you should expect different results, because now we are doing different things.
That goes, my question as it related to this website as an example, is that we don't know who those authorities are. We don't know who those people are that do a really good job. Even though Google says, do they do this, this, and this? They tell you they do this.
Okay.
And then several months down the road, that doesn't happen.
I can give you exact example. Somebody called me when I have my last technology company, which has been sold for so many millions. Somebody keep calling me. We want to do an SEO, an SEO, an SEO. I said, okay, what's SEO about? What you will do? He said, I will do 1, 2, 3. I said, then what? He said, no, the other stuff are secret for us. I did not accept it. I said, I will not give you my website to do something which you cannot disclose to me. They said, no, this is how we make money. I said, yeah, it's good. So you go make money. I'm not. So when somebody challenged me on SEO, I go search them first. And I went back to some of this SEO in particular. I said, why I cannot see you online? Oh, you know what? Because we don't do SEO for ourselves. We do it only for our clients and customers. It doesn't make sense. He told me SEO is a good thing, that's right. And don't take my IQ in technology and computer science, stuff like that, but just assume an average guy on the street doesn't understand anything. All what he knows, SEO is what is a good thing, that's right. So if you are promising me to do a good thing for me and you're not doing it for yourself, what does it mean? Asking intelligent questions and ask from experience from people like you. They don't have any interest to put you down. They are not competing against you. It's the best way to get results out and to really do your homework. So SEO in particular, I'm very allergic to it, because this is how I came up and I wrote about myself. I'm the brand on Google, because I took all these phone calls in 6 months. After 6 months, I decided, let me try it out first. Does it work? And what I did not incorporate any SEO. And I found my name will be found with specific keywords, because I built the traffic in a different way. 6 months later, Google had changed the SEO concept. And they changed their algorithms. There's an article which I will share where I'm just touching it, doing the last touch-up of it. It shows how Google have been changing every year or 2 years their searching algorithm. The most recent information after 2015. We don't know what's going on right now. So you should do your due diligence. It's not hard. And doing the due diligence is participate into groups, have the same interest, without the group trying to sell you or take away from you anything. Not trying to steal clients. Like I had people here, accountant, cross of the tables, and they never really had a discussion about whose client is who, and they don't steal clients. As a matter of fact, a couple of them got more calls last March, and they found the spots with the other 3 people around the table, and they give them more work. So there are people who say, no, all of us are coaching. No, we don't talk. It's okay. I'm about ecosystem. I'm about each one know what exactly you do. Even if I'm competing against you, it's not a bad thing. At least I know who is in town. At least when I need a recommendation letter for an award, I can ask you. You're the expert in the field, right? Anyway, any other questions you have, guys?
I think just an add-on just to what you're saying too around finding people that are experts and knowledgeable. If we're picking a website designer, this is sort of pretty basic, but it's like, who have you done work for? And almost like having conversations with those people that they've done work for to ask more questions. Because if I'm the website designer, I'm going to tell you how great I am and wonderful, and I might throw out a few names of companies I've worked for. But then if we were to really do our due diligence, it's like to have that phone conversation with some of the people that they've worked with.
So just to follow up on this, I got so many people ask me to do websites, and usually I decline because I do websites for me and for trusted people. I understand this will boost their business, and I'm very efficient, very effective in doing websites. In a couple of hours, 6 hours maximum, everything will be running, and we can patch it 1-2 hours every month or whatever. So when somebody come to me and say, "Can I see your quality?" I said, "It's very straightforward. Pick up my name, first name and last name, and go to Google, search it on Google, see how many links I'm on the first page." Unfortunately, I am all the links on the first page, and I am 10 to 8 links in all the pages because each page has a maximum of 10 links unpaid. So till the page number 10, you will see the good, the better, and the best of me all the way. So I am not only linked on one list. So we'll come to, "Oh yeah, but this is your name." I said, "No, my name is not unique because if you go to images, you will see people have the same exact combination of name. As a matter of fact, I do have on my Facebook, I have friends of more than 200 individuals have the same first and last name. And this was crazy because my mom got confused. So that's why I always have my face. Because when my mom tried to add me, she added other Wild Badawi. She's like 76 years old. She doesn't know much. So she saw somebody with the same first and last name spelling. So the following question will be but this is for your name, not for your business. So I go back and ask you as a coaches and experts, will people search your business or search your name for credibility after they know of you? Which one will go first? People will meet you and know your name and now they try to verify your credibility, or people will just look for coaching service? What you will find is in the business of selling information based on our names, people will get to know our names first. And then they say, "What the heck this guy is doing? Let me check him out." If you are in this field, I can help you without SEO. If you are really behind selling insurance services and financial services, let the guys from the SEO burn your money. Because nowadays, 2015 and beyond, or 2014 and beyond, people trust people and buy from people. So people trust people means I know these people. So all what I need to do is I search your name or your company name, which you can do without SEO. You can still put your blogs, put your keyword, put your few things. Still, you can still put a little bit of money, but SEO on its own, it will not get you anywhere. So this is where I'm going back to the same discussion we have in the first session. You need to shift your mind to ask yourself, okay, why I am doing it? Why do you need even a website? There was an author forum. They said authors don't need websites. Authors just need to put their books on Amazon. So the question was, what will happen when Amazon will shut down? You know, there was something called GeoCities. It was very famous. I
remember that, yeah.
And GeoCities was shut down. Yahoo bought it and they shut down. So having a website as an individual, it will help you control your presence. Putting everything back to your website, it will increase its own ranking because so many things coming through your website. So why do you need to have a website? If you tell me to sell, it's great. If you tell me for awareness, it's great. If you tell me to refer people to it, it's great. You need to ask your questions, why do I need to be on social media? Why do I need to be on websites? And many of us are in a business, people need to touch you first. And this will lead to what we're talking about. Does this answer any burning questions or any question not burning yet? Okay. So we understand this wheel now, and do you have any questions on this particular different streams of income?
We identified the cost, but you didn't. You said we were going to touch on evaluating the profitability of each.
Okay, so let's talk about profitability. So how you define, from taxonomy perspective, how you define the profit margins in all of this?
How do you spell taxonomy?
Taxonomy, Toxonomy.
I thought it was taxonomy, Taxo.
Or taxonomy, yeah. I was on the VSI, the Visual Socket International Alliance group, defining this taxonomy for how to build the system on a chip in 2001. And I had the same question, what's this taxonomy? And apparently when I have my name, and you have to be clarified by the Court of California, a Superior Circuit Court in California, because this is defined industry standards. And I was one of the main contributors. There were 7 contributors from university. I was the only one from university. And it was the same, what's taxonomy means? But this name there boosts my life, because everybody knows now that I'm in impact. So I like to use it. You are
Taxonomy.
Taxonomy, okay.
TAX.
Okay, taxonomy, no problem. I call it taxonomy. The point I want to make here is there is a new word we learn. The word means what? We define what these terms mean for us. Is this fair? Okay. Sometimes I try to attach a weird things for you to remember. This definition is your own definition. The prices here are your own pricing. The definition of how we make profit here, it's our own definition. We are the lord of the game, and we can play this game however we like. Does it make sense? So you want to call it taxonomy or taxonomy? Mike, you want to call it taxonomy or taxonomy? Okay, I don't know. It's okay.
Tomato.
So let's talk about the profit. So how you can judge profit. What profit means?
Well, you gave us a hint earlier saying, what else could you be doing while this is being delivered? If you're able to do something else while this is being delivered, then basically
It's a free money. It's 100% profit.
It's the marginal profit is what you're talking about. If forget you've already got the fixed overheads and everything down pat. What is the marginal profit you're making?
This is one way to look at it. So I want to define what profit means. We have the classical definition. Do you know the classical definition of profit? So in the classical definition, they put here over volumes, and here is dollars, and they say there is something called fixed cost. And the fixed cost can be cost all the time. If you just have a website and nothing else will happen. The fixed cost can come as a line like this. The fixed cost can come as a steps like this based on specific volume, that's right? And then they have something else which called variable cost, which is the cost of having more. So this will be the variable, and this will be the fixed cost. Usually the variable will be from 0 here, but just to save the number of lines. And then there is something called what I am selling for. So if I'm selling my service here in this way, or I'm selling it, this will be the income. And the difference between this line and this one is the profit. This is the definition, the classical definition which you'll get in school, that's right? Okay. However, for us, the cost is different. Because for us, what's important for you? Is to spend more time or to spend less time? To spend less time. Why it's important for me to spend less time? Because with the other spare time I will do what? I will reach more people. Or I can make more money elsewhere, that's right? We around the table are 2 types of individuals. we are very $ cautious, or we are relationship on impact cautious. So I want to reach more people. I will make money eventually. There are people around the table are the opposite. They want to make money by reaching people. Whatever priorities you are, it doesn't matter. Yeah, there is nothing good, there is nothing bad. This is the way you are, like it doesn't matter. What matters is, for all of us, we need to reduce the amount of hours. We need to reduce the amount of hours engaging, or we need to reduce the number of hours that we bill by the hour. Do you agree? Do you have something else to do in a spare time which will enhance your program to take it to the next level pricing or the next level of reach? Agree? All of you agree? Do you agree that's the common goal around this table and anywhere? To reduce the number of engagement, which usually translate to what?
Less money.
One-on-one. That's right. Do you agree if you have 10 hours more available in your week, you can take up another project where you can have a better delivery or a more impact? Yes. Does it make sense? So, with all that due respect of the cost profit thing we have, we need to figure out how we can define our profit. What will make us profitable based on this model. So this will be will be coming back here to, if you have books which sells on its own on Amazon or whatever, are these more profitable than one-on-one? More hours than one-on-one?
Well, it'll consume less time incrementally. It probably consumes more time
Initially,
yeah.
okay. Does it make sense? So you will find that the profit in this area, the profits on webinars, will be in how many times you can sell this, and the number is unlimited because you can reach now on Amazon platform. You can sell it in 27 stores worldwide. So it's not you sell it right now in Calgary. So this is where I want to put on profit. Each one of these has its own cost to build. By the way, podcast and audios, it's about 1 to 2 hours overhead over delivery. So if you want to produce an audio and you record 1 hour, it will take you 2 hours to modify them and fix them and enhance them and just launch them right. And we have expertise around the table. Like there are people here who put like 15 minutes every week. So for the 15 minutes, it will cost about 1 to 2 hours. Initially it's 2 hours, now it's about 1 hour to prepare the whole 15 minutes after delivery and upload it to the different websites. So is this 1 hour useful for him, or he spend 1 hour one-on-one where he makes $25, $250? You'll find his answer, and I'm not answering on his behalf, that he would rather do this 1 hour here, although it does not produce money, because it funnels more people to his online program where he makes more money. Okay? Does it make sense? So I don't want to discuss more about the profit, because the profit has very specific to what you do and how you value your hour, and also it's specific of how many hours you can give up from sleep or other work or other duties. Okay, don't keep the one for showering. Okay, please, Okay. Okay, so the following question will be is how I can use this or what I'm doing right now. So how many of you here is doing at least one of these activities? And who's here making at least 3 of these activities?
You mean active or building?
Doing it means you are going in these directions. Okay?
Yeah.
And how many of you here doing more than 7 of this activity? So over the week, I will do at least 7 of these. I will deliver my program, part of it, like either a work, I have like 3 sessions in 1 week and 4 sessions in another week. So I will deliver my program. I will do at least 1 seminar. I will do at least 1 webinar, and I launch my podcast, and I do a little bit around my book. So I keep myself to do about 7 of these activities. And sometimes I restructure what I'm doing, so I work a little bit here. Okay? There are activities here which, if you spend time on it and launch it, it can work on its own. One of them is the keynote, because if you have a website for a keynote speaker, author and keynote speaker, you can build it, you can keep it there, and you don't touch it for a year. Everybody will come, they will just go over there. Okay? So how to use this inside our program? It goes back to the product line which we talked about before. So do you remember the product line we talked about? So we have, this is the line of what activity we can do from start to end. There is one level here, which is what? Which is our program. That's right? There is potentially 2 levels of upselling, or something happened to the outcome of this program. Why only 2? It can be 100, it doesn't matter. It can be 2, 3, 4, whatever. It's your program, you can design it whatever you want. However, your focus is only to get people into one program. That's right? Before this program, there are some activities which will happen, which will lead these people to this program. Do you agree on this line? Especially people who did not see this line before. Now, each one of these activity must have benefits, must have dollar numbers, and must have venue for it. So I'm recycling here some of the product sheets we did before. So each one can take 1 sheet, and this, if you remember, this was a form we used before for another course, but it's still relevant. So if you see the first chart is a line like this, can you take 1 color and start to put out from this particular wheel which program you will have on the 3rd line from the left, which is the longest vertical line.
From the right, you mean?
Oh, sorry, yeah, from the right.
Yeah.
Sorry, from the right. So this is supposed to be your high end, not your high end. This will be the largest impact, or this will be the largest amount of dollars. So, for example, if you provide a subscription program, is this the one you focus on? If you provide a mastermind or a networking service, is this the one? If you provide a one-on-one, is this the one? This is the one you want to maximize the amount of activity. And remember, it's a taxonomy. Taxonomy means what? We can change the line anytime, okay? So just let's plan one thing. And for people who did this exercise before in 3 different workshops, it doesn't matter. Let's just play again, and let's figure out, are you on the right track or not?
Sorry, which you are saying out of this?
Yeah, so out of this activity, which one will go to the 3rd line from the right? If you sell a product, just write, I'm selling a product. Remember, this 3rd line can be multi-value, can have a 3. When we talk about pricing, we talked about multi-options. Okay, and you can use this form, and I have empty blank forms. You can, if you ask for another blank form, I will give it to you. It's not a big deal. But just let's play on this form. Okay, so can we get any volunteers wants to?
My basic workshop.
So your basic workshop.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a basic workshop, can you talk a little bit about it? Not like how long, how much do you charge, how often you do it per year, for example, how often you do it per year?
About 10 per year.
Okay, so so her target is roughly one every month, because remember the year is how many months? 9 to 10.
Yeah.
Because 2 months in the summer are off and the month of Christmas is off. So the year is like 9 to 10. So when you do something like 10 times a year, it will be, you're doing roughly monthly. You target to do it to be monthly. Okay? So the basic workshop, or what she defined as a basic workshop, is one. What is the second one for, what is, okay, so that's good. Anybody has any wants to help us here with any insights? So what is the core business which you want to get people all the time to it?
Workshops,
Workshop,
but I'm brand spanking new.
which is great, which is great,
I'm just beginning.
which
to
is
roll
great.
out.
If you know how it can be designed, it's great.
It's design.
Okay. Shamir, what is your one?
Subscription.
Is it the subscription or the 21 days transformation?
It's the subscription includes the 21 day as one of the levels of subscription. Right?
Okay, so his main one is getting more subscriber. Okay, Mike, which one is?
Probably improvement,
I know you are currently doing the one-on-one,
yeah.
so you want to get more companies to do the one-on-one. But so in this case, he has a business service which is done one-on-one, and this will be the current one. But if you want to move to the next level, he may change this to something else. I want to share the variety around the table.
So I have a yearly package which includes corporate and personal taxes.
Okay, so this will be the
That's
one.
what currently is there.
Yeah.
But what I'm also looking at is maybe doing an online coursing so that people can do more at their home.
Okay, so you can use the yearly package, and you can do 2 lines. One is online and one is in person.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
This can be one way. Another way is just to say the online. Okay. So do you understand the different levels of description you can do around this one? So the following question. So the question under that is, what are the venues? What are the dollars? And if you want to design the program, when you can put your start and you can check date, you can put your completion date, and you can put your deadlines. And for each one of this line, you should talk about the benefits, and you should talk about the product specification, which we can use it for a different exercise. So the question will be is, what else you can do here to funnel people to this program? So if you want to do a mastermind, the mastermind will be on this program. If you want to do like performance things, it can be the performance things you can be on this program. If you want to do any kind of any activity, I know that I want to be known for this program in a year from now. What else should I do before that? So I will educate people on this program. What else will come from where? Will come from here. This is all the possible activity that if you have unlimited amount of hours and unlimited amount of dollars, you can basically what? Do it, that's right. So what else you will do from here to lead people to this particular workshop or this particular program? So you should pick up another color and just put some colors align and say, this is what I want to do.
So this doesn't mean it's like a funnel that it's staged.
These just activities.
Activities, right?
And the activities are leading, not in sequence. Okay? So when I ask you, why do you have a podcast? You say what? Because I'm introducing my program, or I am endorsing my authority, or I am speaking out to educate people in the line of business I'm doing. That's right. We don't do podcast because we like podcast. If you like podcast and have a passion for it, I will happy to support you outside these programs. If you like to write a book for as a passion or as a legacy behind you, it's great. But these are business books. These are not passion books. And one of the customers I have, he's a historian. So he writes books about history because he speaks about it. So his main business is keynote speaking. And then he needs to have the podcast, he needs to have the audios, he needs to have the book, because he is actually, and what we enhance his business with is we add a little bit of breakout sessions. So people get into some exercises. And he has a very unique line of audience, which is not common, but he is actually in this police forces and RCMP and stuff like that. So his historian way is very limited to some specific niches. So, but his program was keynote speaking. Upselling was the little bit of workshops. So he goes to speak and then he will go to. So what is the immediate one you did before? Can you share with us? Don't roll out, but just take it. We will talk about it one at a time. Okay. So which one you had before?
The weekly webinars that I do with the Espresso Shot.
Okay. So the weekly webinar or the espresso shot. So why do you do the espresso shot?
Build content for my subscription site.
Okay.
And to draw people in.
Did you hear that? So why? Can you repeat again?
Build content for the subscription site, and also to as a magnet to draw people into my subscription program.
So when I do something like a webinar to create content, it means repositioning or reuse of the content I create. So I can design a 15-minute sessions every week where I will speak out on a web conference, a web conferencing or a Zoom or whatever, and this will help me to invite people to come to my seminars. At the same time, the recording will help me doing what? It's actually a commitment to do one session of education every week for about 40 to 50 weeks a year. And this is one, what I love about this model is it keeps you working on your system, and you have accountability partners who are actually your audience. Because if you don't show up, what will happen? And if you are aware and cautious of your reputation in town, believe me, you will show up. And I was bullying him so many times at 9 o'clock, and he said, I cannot. I have to be. I said, like, come to other venues. And he said, no, everything can go wrong. I know what I'm doing. I am comfort. He does not schedule anything before 10:15 on this Monday. I know that. That's right. Do you see this model?
How you bring your contacts on the web?
Can you repeat? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Sorry, so you have a webinar where you have invite your people to attend. How will you make sure people are showing up?
How do you attract them?
Attract them.
That's the other side of that line.
Okay, so let's talk here about the webinar, and I have to put it here for a reason, okay? But so the weekly webinar is an example. Mariana, how you get your people? Like, what's your second line?
And introductory discovery sessions.
So she sells introductory or discovery sessions, most likely for free or for money.
For free.
For free. So she sells introductory sessions for free. So people will come here, have introductory sessions.
Is it on a webinar, Marianne, or is it?
No, it's one-on-one. Okay? So most likely, I'm here, I'm not telling the complete truth because I know I have insights for this particular two programs. But most likely, if you want to get people to touch you here one-on-one, the price here you charge is much higher than grabbing people just through webinars. That's right?
Yeah.
Does it make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
So if you have stuff coming through webinars, you will find the upselling will be much lower than having one-on-one. So if somebody will be one-on-one with me on a single session, he will not pay $100 in my program. He'll pay thousands of dollars for my program. But if somebody will come and pay on a webinar $7 or webinar for free, he will pay here $17, $57, $97, something very small. Because the mass here or the N here will make up for the small dollars. So the large N here will make up, but here we have a small N with a larger dollar sign. Which one of these work better? Jane, can you answer this question? Which one of these work better? Are they comparable to each other?
I don't know.
Because they are not comparable. You cannot tell which one works better. What you can measure is within 6 months or 6 weeks to 6 months, are you arriving to your total targets or your target numbers? There is nothing wrong and nothing right about selling a $90 program against $900 program. It doesn't matter. Each one has its own strategy. But when you sell a $900 program, you'll attract lower number of people, that's right? When you sell a $90 program, you have to assume you'll attract more people. So once you define your targets, the strategy and the value can play a little bit of role here. And if you don't agree, I will highly invite you to discuss it right now. Because this is a very important thing. There is no difference between me creating an online packages or making a person contact. A person contact is a lower. I basically record my own events, and I use this recording for something else. So for me, when I run events, I don't want to make much more money in events. I sell this component elsewhere, and this is where you have also to shift your mind of what you do for what reason. Okay. Any other contribution to this line? So how do you funnel people to your program or your plan? Yeah, let's use this for program. I know you are designing it, but how you will get people aware of your program?
It's mostly one-on-ones and speaking to the people I know. Like I'm a consultant in construction as well, so I have a very broad number of people who know me and who listen to what I say. And then I'm sort of feeling the field right now as to who is willing to buy my service. I attempted to do that back in 2009, and I hit closed doors all over the place. I think people were just not ready to...
So what kind of material you will put in front of
It's
them?
the emotional side of change management.
I understand. Right?
Bridging the gap between the old and the young.
I understand. But the question is, what kind of material you put it in front of them? Do you put in front of them a brochure?
program.
You put them a brochure, like a written brochures? Or
It was a curriculum.
a curriculum. So you develop here, one of these things for you will be a curriculum introduction.
Yes.
Okay? So this is one of these lines. If you have a one-pager, you will put one of these ticks. It will be one-pager.
Yes.
If it's a website invitation, it will be one of these ticks, a website invitation. If it's a seminar or like a launch and learn, it will be launch and learn ticks. So these ticks are the activities which you will do with them to get people to the highest value offer you want to get.
Yes.
If you want to do one-on-one, if you want to do some people will do a retreat. So the retreat will come here, like a retreat in Maui or whatever. So this line, and we discuss this line like 5-6 times, maybe every other month or every other week we discuss it, because if you understand this, you know now how effectively you want to use this.
Yes.
And you can measure if this curriculum is wrong or right, because it's too early to provide somebody with a high detailed curriculum. If I have a customers coming who don't know me, and you know my model, people around here, they understand. Our clients and audience are ignorant, are one client and ignorant. And these ignorant people, don't know how good we are. If I give them a curriculum right away, they will shut down. Majority of the people you were inside this event last time, if you talk about details, they will be overwhelmed. They just need to know they will be taken care of. That's it. Not everybody needs to know the details at the very beginning. That's why.
Details are in the workshop.
Sorry?
The details are in the workshop.
So what you need to talk about is you need to talk about what are the benefits for them to come to this particular event. And that's why in this thing we talk about product benefit and not features. We talked about product features because the product benefit, not features, is why people will come to the website or the first event. Okay? Can you take any questions? Any questions? Yes, sir.
One of the things you had on the wheel was upsell. Would that be on the right-hand side of the? So essentially what I'm understanding is that if my subscription program, which is the main line, has a range of $97 to $300 a year, just a working number right now. Then if I'm going to be having webinars that I would charge, $79 or $95 for a webinar, chances are that would have to be on the right-hand side of that thing, not before, because you want to build up the pricing. The one on the biggest line should be the biggest ticket item.
The biggest ticket item or the largest number of audience to a ticket item. Doesn't matter. But this is the focal of your point, of your business.
Right. So
If I want you to be known,
yeah.
I will know you about this line. That's it.
So if
Right,
I
so-
understand right, his subscription is his main offer, anything beyond that is an upsell.
It can be an upsell. Yes.
So
yes.
if I have a many to one.
If you have a new book, much easier. If I came up with my brand new book. So if I will not give you the book for free here, and I want to sell you the book will be an upsell. That's right.
Right.
If you come up with a new extra, like he has a 21 days or whatever it is, 4 weeks of whatever, okay, or 3 weeks of whatever, and he wants to sell a time management course. The time management course is a really program. It's not a program. It's actually part of the upselling. So if I shift my perception and my mind that this is what I'm doing, you will understand that all the time you are promoting what? One line. The time management program, the healing, whatever other program you are doing, the parent program, the young program, it doesn't matter. These all are ticks coming after as upselling stages. Does it make sense?
Yep.
So this is a different model which I bring to the table and say, this model is much simpler, because later on you will be confused. What are we offering? If you are confused about what are you offering, your audience is what? Is ignorant of your quality. Is ignorant of your service. So if you are confused, how are you leading the ignorant to get your service? You are basically a blind leading the blind. Does it make sense? I'm not saying that people around here are blind, but this is the situation. So majority of us will come and say, oh, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, okay, so who are you in the beginning? And this is where it gets confusion. And when people start to see this confusion, doesn't make sense for them, it will be hard for them to subscribe to your program. Does this make sense? So can you, on these lines, go and put as many as you can from this, and just we can give it one more step of qualification after that. So what other activities from here you want to put it on this particular line, and start to use different colors, and start to use double colors. Like if you run out of colors, just you can put double, like you can use something like this, double red. And please do this, like just Brainstorm about what you plan to do. Take this couple of hours or 4 hours engagement away from everything else you do, because you are here, and let's brainstorm about what you can do. And I'm not saying you will do it all, but there are people actually doing all of this at certain maturity in their program. Remember, there's a blog here, okay? Remember, there's a blog. Word blog existed here. So if you don't have a blog, this is one of the easiest way to create a book. Sorry, to create a book later on. But one of the easiest ways to have a blog if you don't have a blog.
So describe a blog to me.
A blog is a bunch of articles which comes every 2-3 days or every week or every whatever, which basically you talk about the different aspects of your service. So if in a change management example in particular, to help you better here, you must have articles between 300, 500, 1,000 to 2,000 words, which talk about the value and the benefit. It can be 300, it can be 2,000, it can be anywhere in the middle. And when you put these blogs on your website, there are specific keywords for it. And when search engines will go through, it will increase your credibility that you are in this area. The other side of the coin is, who are your competitors in this field? You know them. Do they have websites with extreme blogs? Do they have like 100, 200 articles? Most likely the answer is yes. So how will I trust you and I am the ignorant? That I trust you, you are the expert, while the guy who doesn't have any knowledge has 400, 300 articles on his website. Which one should I trust?
Depends on what you think.
Which one? I don't know you, I don't know them. But I come to you.
People would trust the one that has the most information.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And we are not the customers or the clients of our programs. Neither our family, nor our friends. So with all the due respect of all these backgrounds, somebody who is ignorant of your value, ignorant of you, like all of us here are ignorant of your name.
Oh, my name is Claude.
Okay? That's right, Claude. We know because we met before, but this is an example. Like majority of people around this table who did not meet you before are ignorant of your name.
Yes.
They are very qualified individuals in their field, but they are ignorant of what you do. They are ignorant of what you value. You must design your program to the ignorant of your value. You must talk about the benefits you do to the ignorant. So if you tell me change management, I wouldn't understand it, because I never maybe worked in the big companies. Jacqueline worked in a huge company. She understands what change management. Much better, she's an HR recruiter. Much better, she's also a coach. So she has all of this background. She can value what you do or devalue what you do, doesn't matter. But for me, what do you mean? I never work in a company. So when we go around and we talk about what we do, we ignore the ignorant. However, the ignorant are most likely our customers, because these are people who need help. So if you work out with this philosophy, you will find that your job is to take the ignorant, identify their pain, and from their pain you can identify what kind of solutions, and then you can position yourself as the best solution provider and convince them to pay you to provide the service.
Thank you.
Does it make sense?
Yep.
And by the way, on this table, usually we delay people introduction. Like in the very beginning, each one will say, "Oh, I'm so and so," and then we start to have the practices. We need to know people first before know their name. So that's why we do this on purpose. Like this is an example of people don't know you, people don't know what you do. Maybe they have the need, you don't know as well. So it's your job to sort through that and create enough credibility. That's why you must have a blog. One more thing also, we have discussions around it about a website. Do I need a website for myself? Do I need a website for the business? I can do everything on Facebook, on LinkedIn pages. If a website development or a website host away from the development is $50 to $100 a year, like less than $10 a month, and you don't want to invest in it, why do you ask people to pay you $50 an hour? If your business card is not professional enough and you use Gmail account, for example, I don't know, I believe people here around this table stop using Gmail. If you don't have an email host other than Gmail or Shaw, why do you expect people to understand you have a commitment to your business if you are using a free stuff? You can still use an email linked to your domain and manage it through a Gmail account because it has these capabilities. I disagree with you. You want to do it this way, do it in this way. But what goes on your business card, it must be reflective that people will pay you $50, $100 an hour, $200 an hour, $1,000 an hour. If you don't have this, you are fooling yourself because the ignorant will not accept that. Because there are other service providers. And if you come and tell me my service is unique, nobody else is providing it, I don't buy that. Because it means you are selling something which there is no demand for in the market. Because there is no, when Facebook came, there was so many activities. GeoCities was one example. Hotmail used to have pages. So you don't come with a position that I'm the best doing things, there's nobody else is doing it. Because if you do something nobody else is doing it, it means what? Nobody needs your service. Every need in the life right now have been identified. If somebody has an automation is a replacement for the paper and pen techniques. That's right.
You just have to do it better. Yes.
You do it better, you do it effectively, you do it at a massive change, you have a better results. Even we had this discussion the other day. You know the KitchenAid, the equipment in the kitchen, like the food processor. This is a replacement for what?
The mixer.
No. Replacement for my hand cutting on my own. Not even for the knife. So all the replacement from the food processors, the mixers, these cutters, the cutting board, the knife, the wood knife, all of these things, even leave the food to be rotten, so to be softer, to be scratched. All of these are replacement for this device. That's it. So we sometimes go and focus on what we do and we don't realize that this need have been addressed by other techniques. I'm doing it better, I'm doing it automated, I'm doing it efficient, I bring different experience to it. This is what makes me great. All of this needs what? You to articulate these values. I will not sit here and guess, oh yeah, Claudia, is a very unique name. He might know unique stuff. It doesn't work like that. Do you agree?
I agree.
And here we are in a safe environment. I respect everybody. I don't try to pick up on anyone, and everybody understands. Like, we are just an open, honest moment to value what we do and give it a naked truth view. So you should be able to have at least one blog, have at least some versions of ebooks, have plans if you like or don't like for books, have plans to deliver some of these workshop seminar one-on-one. If you charge thousands of dollars, if you charge hundreds of dollars, webinars might be the way to go. I know some people on this table, they just have a strong website with an SEO, which brings them clients. But they got like 10, 20 clients a year because this is what all they can serve, which is great. It works for them. So this is the wheel, and I'm not sure how many of these you can do, but you can do them, and then underneath say, this is what I'm doing, this is what I want to do better, and this is what I plan to do. Does this make sense? So if you want to keep playing in this example, so you should be able to say, this is what I'm doing right now, I want to do this better, or I want to plan to do this. So when you have time, and you can also have, I'm doing it, but I want to do it better. There is nothing wrong with having all of them P as planned for. There is nothing wrong. If people around the table are very green or very designing a brand new shift in their service, but always focus on one service. Always focus on one service. Don't confuse yourself with your current business with the current service. So if you want to do a solar panel, this will be for the solar panel. If you want to do software development, this is for software. If this is your IT consultancy, this is for your IT consultancy as a full line. Don't confuse yourself, because we usually have the habit of confusing ourselves. We are the first enemy for our success because we confuse ourselves. We have our self-talk, and we have our interest in feeling comfort all the time. And this is where we screw up. When we try to get uncomfort or discomfort in what we do, we don't like it. We try to skip. Say, I'm not interested. Okay? Anybody wants to share or discuss? So Shamir, what you are doing now?
So everything that I'm doing now, I got D/B. I could be doing it better. So I've got the workshops, website, blogs, webinars, espresso shot.
Okay.
So that's a web. That's the
And what's planned?
My plan is the subscription website, ebook, podcast, mastermind program. That's an upsell from my.
So why is not a book?
Just
Because you have a book cover. We did a book cover, and you promised giving out. So why is not a book? Because you feel comfort producing material online with your computer, but you don't feel comfort going through the publishing activities.
that's plan.
Okay. Do you have priority? Can you put a priority about these plans? Can you put like priority 1, 2, 3, 4?
Then I'll have to do it.
No, it's not you have to do it. It's when the idea is when I have time. So what you should do is when you have plans, should name it, label it a priority. So you say I plan 1, which is my priority. So people who don't have a website and they plan to have a website or restructure their website, this will be priority 1. That's right. People who have a workshop and a seminar and this kind of a working, but they want to start a new, you want to maybe have a podcast. So I would recommend to go on the plan first, not to make it better, because if you have a little bit of everything, it's better than to have one thing excellent, because one thing is one way, and a little bit of everything is a network of ways toward your program. And this is my philosophy. You don't have to agree with it, okay? Because there is a perfectionist in our life, which we get, God bless you guys, and leave them alone and move forward, because perfectionists will not get anything to be done. Do you agree?
I resemble that.
Sorry?
I resemble that.
I don't know. I was working with someone on a document for a professional board, and it's like 63 pages document, which people will review it in like half an hour. And she wants to go through English editing and said like, you know what? If this is a document for half an hour, most likely people will read the first 5-10 pages and they will skim through it. So it doesn't need to have, just you need to finish it, read it 2-3 times, and then send it. But she's a perfectionist, which is holding her back. Like in the time she spent on doing H1, she could actually achieve much more than where she is. And she also doesn't have confidence in her skills. So many of us will try to not have a confidence to push forward, and they will try to push back and say, oh, we don't want to. Okay, can we have any other, do you want to?
Sure. So what I'm doing already is introductory sessions, one-on-ones, and then I plan practice sessions. I want to do more speaking, but I'm doing already more. And I have about 10 blogs, so I want to make more. I plan a book, but that's coming later.
Okay.
And do introductory seminars and do them better. Plan webinars. I have a website, and you said that I should have a personal website as well, but then.
Coming to the, okay, keep going.
And then social media, I have to do better.
Okay. So coming to the, you said I want to do more speaking engagement. So if I want to market you as a speaker, not for your program, because people want to listen to you, not to buy your program yet. People don't know you. Remember when we had the staging of people, we said just for Claudia, just to get him up to speed on on our taxonomy. What we do is, you have here customers who are paying you dollars. Before these customers, they are clients, they are prospects, they are lead, they are target audience, they are general. And after customers, they can be referral customers, they can be returned customers, or retired customers. These are the stages of people around you. So when I met you first time, I was general. When I stand in front of you, when I told you, tell me more, when you try to negotiate with me to seize my need, when you see that I need the need, you give me a free session, now you charge me. This is just an example of how you can phase people in. And now when you charge me for your service for a couple of hours, I can come back for another couple of hours, or I can refer some other people to you, or I don't need to know about you for another couple of months. I will be a retired customer. You need to re-engage me from somewhere else. So if I want to sell somebody here in this area, they care about the price and the details of the program and the curriculum. But if I am in this area here, I know you, so I'm target audience for you. It's very hard to get me price point and details. You need to sell me more on the value. Does it make sense to you?
It does.
Okay? So if my target is I want to do more speaking engagement. So I want to sell myself. Sell means I offer what service and people accept it. I want to sell myself as what? As a speaker. That's right?
Yeah.
Because people would like to get speakers. So where will I find you as a speaker?
That would be in a personal website.
It must be a website with my name as a speaker.
Yeah.
Or I can have a speaker bureau, and the speaker bureau will not accept speakers without having their speaking engagement website. So I will withdraw the word your personal website. I will say a speaking website.
Speaking website, yeah.
Okay? I want to buy your coaching program. But if you only have a coaching program website, people will not invite you to come to give keynote speech. If you want to be a keynote, if you want to be a presenter, you must have a venue online where you are positioning yourself as a coach, speaker, and author, or a coach, speaker, and a trainer, or a coach, speaker, and facilitator. Or a speaker and facilitator. And when you go speak or facilitate events, you can upsell your books in the back of the room, or you can upsell your espresso shots for people to come to. That's right. So this is what question is, where you will meet your general. So we can meet our generals in different. General means they are not audience for us. They don't know anything about us. We are sitting in the coffee shop on the street, going back and forth. They are general. We smile in their face. They smile to us. They stop by our table. They don't drink our coffee. We start the conversation. That's right. When you go to the farmer market, you are general. You want to go to buy the honey box, you are audience and target audience because you are looking for specific honey products. You see 3-4 different places, you go visit them, compare the prices, and then you decide they give you a free sample, you are a client. You decide to buy, you are a customer. Now I have to upsell you the largest jar, that's right, or sell you one, give you one free for your friends, or sell you one and give you a card, and then you come next year or next event, or you send me some. Does it make sense to you? Can you use this for your business? If this does make sense to you and you know this, why you are not using it for your business? Okay? So this is the point I want to make sure. We are not recommending for everybody to have a personal website for the sake of having personal website. However, if your goal to promote your lines to have more speaking engagement, it will be much easier. It will be a lower barrier. It will be a higher reach if you have a facilitator speaker website. So everybody can go say, you know what guys, for your next event, call up this lady, she's a speaker. Or she speaks on these topics. Will people have likelihood to contact you? Or when you say, oh, she is selling this program, she can also speak. Which one is better? The first one or the second one? Does it make sense to you? If your passion of impact will drive you, you will step on the barrier of your own self-limiting belief that you cannot speaking online. Or you cannot be a speaker. That's it. Okay? Yes?
So somebody who has taken an introductory session is a client then already?
Is a customer. If he paid for the introductory session, it will be a customer.
No, if they didn't pay.
It's a client.
Client, yeah.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they pay, they're a
Yeah.
customer. Yeah.
And this model is also taxonomy. This is my definition, okay? You can change it. You can know it and just say, okay, no, it doesn't work for me. I do it in a different way. I came up with this model because I realized that the customers will need invoices. Like everybody's paying me, I have to go somewhere in my Infusionsoft and do something strange for them. Or my clients will come through my leading page and they'll be very happy. But however, my clients will need at the end of the session what? A sheet to subscribe to my program. So what I found out here is each one of these need different paperwork. That's right. And this is one of the classification. Secondly, each one of these will need a different messaging. If somebody doesn't have a program in mind, he needs to understand the value of the program, how to make a passive income, how to create legacy, how, why, what are the reasons. So because of that, I came up with this model. I said, like, this is the model of engagement between you and the money and the more money. You can challenge it, you can comment on it like it's a...
Well, I like it, but I'm just looking at the letters, but I'd like to see what each letter represents so I can write it down. It makes sense for me.
So you should come and buy my book, 12 Streams of Income. So these are general. These are general
General statement.
audience, target audience. So these are general audience, targeted audience, lead, prospects, client, customers, returned customers, referred customers, and retired customers. Retired customers are my very old customer about 2 months ago, 6 months ago, 3 years. So these customers will need a specific invitation to potentially a specific event like a loyalty event
Refresh.
to bring them somewhere here, okay, to refresh, to try to push them. Maybe you bring them to be a client, to invite them to another seminar or workshop. A client is somebody who will take part of your service for free. Attending your webinar for free, attending your seminar for free. Maybe providing a complimentary one-on-one. Like in Mariana model, she has the one-on-one assessment. If you talk about strategy session or strategic planning session or just evaluation session, all of these are clients because they don't pay money for it. There are some businesses, they have multi-customers. They have a small customer for 17, a customer for $1,000, and a customer for $100,000. Because this house is in real estate in particular. But this is a generic model, you can adapt it to what you do. You should write it, have it in your blueprint. So when you go design a website or make a social media, you tell your social media expert or your web designer, my website is for these people. Don't have a button buy now, because these people are not ready to buy. People only here are ready to buy. Don't even say, send me a quote. However, real estate, not real estate, insurance websites is different. Because people will go to insurance website when they will be looking for insurance. They are in this area. They may use the calculator, they become client, or they are prospecting. So when I'm trying to evaluate, dollar is a factor. So I can put quote me now, or send me a phone call for quotation. So no matter what's your website, and I do have I believe the blog is coming this week, a blog on what are the different types of websites. So if your website is selling, or your website is creating awareness, or generating lead and prospects. If you come to me early on and I tell you my program is a X number of dollars, like let's pick up $100,000 for just sake of number, you will not come because you never seen the value. When you come and see the value, I may ask you to pay me $250,000. That's right. So all of this perception, you have to apply to your potential ignorant who doesn't know you. And the more you keep them engaged, most likely you will get more people here. Because if you are not ready to pay me, what I will do you know people who will take advantage of this material? So I rather get more people to get advantage of the material than just converting everybody to customer, because when I disseminate my message, I will get more customers. Does this make sense? Any more discussions?
It makes sense in terms of the funnel and the flow, but why many people, when we start a conversation on the G side, talk about the price, ask about the price in the first place.
And this is, if you have people who are asking here about the prices,
I noticed first question of some of the initial question. Yes.
you were part of this course, that's right? Sorry.
Yes, I
Sorry. You were part of this course. So in this course, we talked about when people asking for prices first, most likely they try to send you away. They want to say, no, I'm not interested. They try to find an excuse not to continue conversation for the sale. So I avoid putting prices at all. I just have prices on my website for another reason. So when I stand and sell, people can refer that this is actually my pricing. So we usually avoid to have prices here. Many of the rejection or the objection scripts in this document, which there are about 148 of them, many of them will refer, yeah, this is too expensive. This is how much is it? How much is it is a customization of what you are doing. If somebody will tell me how much is it, you say how much compared to what? Like, I completely understand how you feel, and everybody felt the same. That prices are very important, and money is a big portion, is a big factor of our life. However, how much is it compared to what? What do you have? And then I start to put more about the value. If I put the money when they are in the prospect client kind, because not everybody can have a client. Some of our business you cannot try it out. That's right. But in this area, if I know that these people can understand my value, are in need, they are willing to make a decision, I should be able to discuss the pricing. Because none of us here is selling a commodity product or a commodity solution. Everybody is selling a high value product. Does this make sense?
Yeah. Does it mean they fall into the dollar category client?
The dollar category client is a client who need to know more credibility. He need to know that you are credible of doing it. They have a relationship with the money. But if somebody will come and say, how much is it? This is an objection. They don't want to continue discussions. And some of us will do it because we feel comfort where we are, and as to the extent of the confirming the discussion we had early on, people like to sit and whine and cry and complain about what they do. So if you remember when we start to talk to each other back 40,000 years ago, when human came into life 40,000 years ago, we don't know what happened till about 5,000 years ago, which is 3,000 years before Christ, roughly. Because at that time, documentation started to appear as a symbols, as hieroglyphic, as whatever. But with these 35,000 years, we don't know what was happening. During this era, people were sitting around fires, telling stories, complaining, whining. Today, in the YouTube market where you can have on demand, you will find that the complaining and the whining and this is a kind of media where you will have the highest level of viewing, because people don't like to have solutions. People like to have complaints and discussions about their pain, but not how to solve the pain. Many of the pain we have, guys, in our life, if we stop talking about it, it will go on its own, because we will not be aware of it. How many times did you have headache, and when you had something interesting, you forgot about the headache and you move on in your life? How many times? Did it happen to you before or not? How many times did you wake up in the morning, you feel ache in your body or in your feet, and by the time you start to walk and do your activity, you forgot about it, and when you go home at night, you know what, I have an ache in my leg. How many times happened this to you? Does this happen to you? Why? Because we stop thinking about it. We stop being aware of it. We move it from our unconscious mind and our near conscious mind and our conscious mind. We just remove it. So 90% of the stress and pain, if you don't leave it, if you don't live it and leave it, it will go on its own. And there is nothing wrong with you.
Let's not tell the public that, though.
We don't tell the public
Most
that.
of us would be out of business.
We don't tell them because average IQ people don't understand that. But all what law of transformation and energy healers, and this is what exactly they do. All the stone concepts, when people go and pay $10,000 for a crystal ball because they believe the energy and the power will come from the crystal ball. There is nothing in the crystal ball, guys. All the power is inside you, and it's your belief which need to be shifted. So having these chains or these bracelets or any of this stuff, it's just a way to remind you. Just one more story. When I used to be very young and I always forget stuff, you know what my grandma will do for me? She will have a bow. She will tie a bow around my pinky. And as long as I have this bow, what I will remember? I have to do this. Nowadays I use the same technology. When I go to an event and they give me the wrist, if I don't follow up with the people in the event, I keep it up. And I go around, were you in the hospital? I said, no, just I have this to remind me. So I had one time for more than 3 weeks because I was so busy I could not follow up. Once I finished all what I wanted to do, I go and cut it. So humans are very powerful creatures, but they don't recognize they're powerful. And if you want to stay on course, you have to have reminders. And you have to have people who can push you through this course. Otherwise, they will take you back. And I'm not here to preach you on transformations, okay?
That's my job.
Anyway, any more discussion before we go to lunch? Yes?
Well, we can go for lunch and you and I can talk about it.
Sure. Just open because we want to have like half an hour for lunch, so we can. And I hope you have. What do you think about the topic and the material?
I like it. It's an eye opener for me.
The most important part is by 4 o'clock when you walk out from here, we must have a plan. We are doing 1, 2, 3, 4. And by the end of this workshop, you have a draft plan to what you want to do. This is what will fulfill me, because knowing information is a fantasy. We sit and watch Disney all the time. It's a fantasy. Transformation will happen with application of the new information. Once we start to apply, we can transform what we do. And hopefully we'll transform ourselves to better persons, okay? So let's break for
Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.